What's going on, guys? One Chains Gaming back here with another video. And today, as we were told yesterday, this is, I believe, yes, it is now Wednesday, December 1st. We are getting the Season 3 blog. This is not my team exclusive. This is just Season 3 in general. But I still figured I'd cover it because it at least had some updates and things like that for the My Team community. I will probably glance over some of the park stuff at the end. But obviously this is primarily a My Team page, so we will be focusing on the My Team stuff here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, as we've been hearing over the past couple of days, we are getting the new Clutch Time mode. So this, again, is kind of just a one-stop summary for all the things we've heard from 2K TV, from Twitter, things like that. If you guys haven't seen, Six Man Sam did kind of put out a tweet, I believe it was Monday, just kind of going over like a brief like bullet point thing of what's in the mode, and then he was also going through the comments and some of like the bigger creators. He was answering their questions, and just also some other people that were asking kind of general questions about the mode. He covered that, so that actually has a lot more info in it. However, though, so this is, we're going to get the 4-point line in My Team now. This essentially what it is, it's multiplayer mode. It is going to be a 5-minute, 1/4 period. You get 14 seconds of shot clock to score. And another interesting thing that popped up is it is sudden death overtime rules. So for the, instead of getting an overtime period, ignore all the emails I'm getting, but the period is first one to score wins, and that's it. Another interesting note for this is when the game enters the final 2 minutes, it is sudden death. So it's whoever the first one to score is. And you also only get 20-second timeouts, so no longer of the minute timeouts. Apparently, the location for this, quote-unquote, is going to be that pink diamond plaza that nobody goes into. I guess it's the bottom floor of that. So here's the rewards. This is kind of what I was curious about because I didn't know. Obviously, when we got draft mode, we got a pretty good reward Season 1 in Glenn Robinson, just because they wanted to introduce the mode and make sure the mode was viable. And then as it started to go on, it seems like they're starting to prioritize that mode less as far as rewards go. And we'll cover what the reward is for that a little bit later. But so for this one, you get 5, 10 tiers. So you have to go at least, if you lose 3 in a row, you get reset. Otherwise, you just keep going until you hit that 10 wins, and then you get to the top. So for the top, for the 50 wins, you get Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, I think, will be a good point guard. Not game-breaking by any means, but I think he'll be along those Steve Francis lines of dribbling, dunking, shooting. Not necessarily the greatest defender, but maybe slightly usable defensively. I think Gary Payton's still going to be better than him, just because I kind of have Gary Payton shootout and everything. So I feel like Gary Payton will still be a little bit above him, but definitely as far as the free cards go, for No Money Spent guys, definitely one of the cards I would recommend grinding. We're going to get a Ruby Julius Randle at 10 wins. Nobody's going to care. Not going to be usable. If anything, like the Amethyst, probably almost identical stats. It wouldn't surprise me. Diamond Al Horford at 30 wins. I think he'll be interesting as like a stretch big for you really, really budget guys. But again, just for me, he's not going to have the speed. He's not going to have the lateral quickness. I like more of like the Josh Smith type. I need more of a defensive-minded center for me personally. And then, so while you're getting these wins and things, for each win that doesn't include one of these rewards, so your 10 wins, 30 wins, 50 wins, you're getting a wheel spin like the daily, the weekly login one we get. And on that wheel is going to be Michael Redd. So I think it'll be interesting for, again, budget guys. This is a lot of big stuff for No Money Spent guys. I might run him on the bench. It depends on if I can get him to essentially be what James Harden does for me. I'll pick him up and he'll just run the James Harden spot for me, where he can kind of run next to Gary Payton and, be that like secondary, not quite primary ball handler, because he won't get as good of handling as James Harden does. But I think all in all, he'll be at least usable in that aspect of it. If anything, he'll run like a bench 2 for me, and he can shoot the ball, play decent defense, maybe dunk the ball a little bit. Not worried about it. So they're just kind of going into more of that stuff, and then also the 4-point line. So here we get kind of just the general overlay for the awards. Just like last year, we get our first Galaxy Opal level 40 for this season, same way as we did last season. Last year, we got Dwayne Wade. So this one, I would love to talk to the My Team guys that come out with, okay, so here's the content we're dropping. Here's what cards we're dropping when. Here's what cards we want to be reward cards. Things like that, right? Because for them to put Iverson as the level 40 and not like a triple threat type of guy, I really thought that that was going to be how that went. Is maybe Iverson as like a triple threat guy, or he's normally typically like a domination guy, something like that is normally where Allen Iverson goes because they know Iverson doesn't move packs, especially as we start to get further in the year, and we're going to eventually, we've got to be getting a Magic or a Ben Simmons or somebody soon. Just because we haven't really gotten any tall point guards other than Penny. Penny is really the tall one that we have right now. So obviously that's going to start happening, especially around Christmas time, because 2K really wants their money, and that's when kids get money and start opening packs more as Christmas time. So that's normally when we start to see those taller point guards come in. So the fact that they're giving us Iverson now, I would have, maybe as like a level 1 or a season 1 reward, I think would have been cool. Just because tall point guards weren't really the meta, and people were still trying to figure things out. I think it would have worked. But obviously now it's not going to work at all. But yeah, another interesting thing is there's going to be a Beyond Level 40. So how we had it last year, I believe it was Season 3 again for Blake Griffin. They gave us that past Blake Griffin thing. And so this year it's going to be a little bit different. It's not necessarily like different prizes and stuff. I think we got like an extra player or something last year. But this instead, essentially what you can do is instead of having to grind all of the modes, you can pick one mode that you're not going to grind, and they'll be available in an option pack at that level, whatever it's going to be past level 40. So you'll be able to get a pack that'll have the limited guy, the Ascension guy, the draft guy, all of that will be in there. I don't think it's going to be worth it, personally, because as I'll go over, as you guys can kind of see towards the bottom here, those cards aren't really all that good. I know they're calling this like the iced out season, which is kind of funny because that's just kind of our group. But all in all, I'm calling it the season of mediocre, honestly. Because level 40 is Allen Iverson, and then we'll go ahead and get into what the other guys are here now. So Ascension is going to be Cliff Hagan. He'll probably have Hall of Fame Limitless, I would assume. The thing is, though, he's 6'4". He's not going to be a great dunker. He'll be a decent shooter. His jump shots tend to be slow, and he's just not that great defensively. So I understand why he's an Ascension board. That makes sense. Ascension board's not meant to be game-breaking because it's really luck-based. Like I've heard some people went all the way to level 40 and didn't get Caron Butler this season, and then you have some guys that got it on like level 6. Like it's completely RNG, so I don't love it, but I understand why it's not a great player. I just think they definitely could have gone better with the Ascension. Now, the draft mode last season was really underwhelming because we saw George Gervin. Nobody's grinding for a George Gervin. This season's honestly worse because we're starting to get to the point where we've got David Robinson, we've got Mikan, we've got all these guys that can shoot and play good inside defense, right? For draft this season, they gave us Andre Drummond. The only reason I used a draft ticket this season was because of the Hall of Fame agenda. It was the only reason I used it. I ended up just clearing out that board because I was like, whatever. Because I at least wanted the tokens and stuff from it. But nobody's grinding for an Andre Drummond. Nobody. Nobody at all. At all. So, I just don't understand who, like, if they're sitting in a room and they're like, okay, what are cards that people will grind for? That, especially because draft, once you run out of tickets, you have to pay VC, which means you're spending money. So I thought that, if anything, the draft would have been the mode that got a boosted guy, right? Because they know that if they make it really RNG and it keeps screwing people over and they can't get it, they keep going in and in. If we got like a Paul Silas in that mode, people would have spent a ton of VC just to get Paul Silas. So I don't understand why we're getting Andre Drummond, who honestly maybe would be, I wouldn't grind for him anyway, but maybe like a triple threat offline guy. I think that's where Andre Drummond belongs. Or like a amethyst token guy. Like he's not anything you put as a pink diamond, like big name guy, right? And then for limited, we got a decent one in Booker. I did get Booker. Booker has his flaws, but at least he can shoot. And at the time, he was one of the few guys with quick. And he had jump shot 4, and he could just really score the ball. He couldn't dribble, but like getting him open and things like that, it worked, right? And then this past season, we got Ja. I debated about getting Ja, ended up going for the Hall of Fame badge because I had Steve Francis, and they were similar enough to where I was okay with it, right? Ja he's like a top 6-7 point guard right now, right? Obviously, that's going to change as we start getting content and things like that. But as of right now, Ja's at least still usable. Who's running Dan, whatever his last name is? I can never remember how to pronounce this dude's last name. He's almost always a token guy. He's like a Ruby token guy that everybody gets because what happens is you put him in as a Ruby token guy at the beginning of the year and people use him because he can shoot and play defense. And he's like 6'4", 6'5"-ish, right? Nobody's grinding 6 rings and waiting 6 weeks to get this guy when we've already got a ton, like shooting guard. Like I will take Amethyst Eddie Jones over this man. I will take Ruby Matisse Thybulle over this man. It's not even close. Like he's not even an afterthought for me. So I will I'm probably going Hall of Fame badge again, which means I'm going to have to skip a week. But I'm not going for him at all. Like, as soon as I saw this card, no. When I saw Season 2's blog and I saw it was Ja, I was all excited. I was like, all right, we're getting a ring every week. We're going for Ja. And then it changed with that last week of us getting Steve Francis. But up until that point, my entire focus of Limited was Ja Morant. That was it. Ja Morant. But then when I see cards like this, I have no motivation for it. Like, I'm going to have to force myself to play 5 weeks just because I want the Hall of Fame badge. I don't want him at all. At all. He's not worth it. Not worth my time. Right? The other interesting thing is they didn't announce Triple Threat at all. They just put Pink Diamond rewards from Triple Threat ball drops and Vault that will be revealed later in the season. So I don't know if that's like a mid-season update, like a Christmas time update. Hey, here's a Christmas event. Here's the pink diamonds you guys are getting. And if we're getting like diamonds for right now, like again, like probably like a little bit better than Latrell Sprewell. I like Latrell. Haven't used him, but just the stats and everything, it makes sense for him to be there. But it's interesting that we didn't get those announced today, which is weird. Also returning is going to be the Showdowns here. So for you guys that grinded it, essentially you're playing another full set of Unlimited on top of the Unlimited you're playing. I ended up getting Gary Payton and I was wore out. I ended up not doing it. I think I got like 10 games into Showdown and just said, forget it. Wasn't worth my time, right? So that'll be interesting for the 15,000 XP. But again, with not listening to the community, I thought we were on the right track, right? Because we got Ja Morant for Limited last season. We got Gary Payton for Unlimited. They eased up on Unlimited because of skill-based matchmaking being garbage, right? This time, we're getting Jason Richardson. Like, Jason Richardson is a domination guy, is a token guy, okay, honestly, put him as the draft guy. Him as the draft guy, I would have been perfectly fine with. I would have ran like my 1 or 2 tickets that I would have tried to get, and if I got him, I got him. If I didn't, I didn't, right? Or even as an Ascension guy. Like, just anything other than Unlimited. Unlimited is your sweatiest mode, and the mode you have to play the most amount of games for, because the thing is with Unlimited, once you get through Galaxy Opal, you don't get a box, is the thing, right? Pink Diamond tier, Diamond tier, you get a box. That's why most times, like, except for Gary, I normally just stop at Pink Diamond. Because I get my Hall of Fame badges, I get my Diamond contracts, I get like a Diamond player or something like that, and I'm good, right? But at Galaxy Opal, all you're giving us for 53 games, 1, is a card. That's it. That's all we get. We don't get anything else added to it. If you're going to give me Jason Richardson, give me another box. Give me 2 Hall of Fame badges. Give me a Diamond contract, a Diamond consumable, something else other than just the card. Because you're putting so much pressure on yourself to make that card good that if it's mediocre like this, it makes people not want to grind. Like, honestly, looking at these cards right now, I don't know what I'm going to play. I have 6 weeks, I have no idea what I'm playing. I have no clue. I have my triple threat board set up so I can do the top 3 boards. Doesn't sound like we're getting anything good at the start of the season. Triple threat all fun. I never play that many games, so I'm not even going to bother. I was looking forward to Unlimited. Obviously, I was going to wait like a week and then go in once everybody had started to move up the tier, so I at least wasn't necessarily drenched in sweat by the time I was done. And then we had been on the right path with Limited. Last year's Limited was garbage. We had like Ralph Sampson and stuff that nobody would use, so it was just a waste of time, right? But for this, we were on the right track. We had Devin Booker. We had Ja Morant. I was like, all right, maybe we'll get a big this time. Maybe we'll get, I don't even know who we would have gotten. But just like a big that's usable, right? Not a guy that's obviously going to sell you a ton of money in packs. Because that's why we don't get a Kobe in these things. That's why we don't get like a Magic on these things. That's why when everybody was saying Magic level 40, I was laughing. Because it just doesn't make sense. 2K makes too much money off of Magic's name in packs for them to do that as a reward, right? I was thinking, like I'd heard Rudy Gay. Give us Rudy Gay for an unlimited reward like you did 2 years ago. That was great. People actually cared. Give us a Glenn Rice. Give us just something that's like, it's not a name that's going to be blown away in packs, right? But it's a name that people actually use because we know they get good SIGs, they get good animations, they get good stats, they get good badges, they get good tendencies. Like Gary Payton was perfect. Gary Payton's not selling packs out, right? People aren't going bankrupt going for Gary Payton. No. But he's a card that right now is the top point guard in the game. And you gave him to us through Unlimited. Like, I just don't understand how you're that unaware of your community to be like, oh, let's give him Jason Richardson for the Unlimited. People have been clowning them all day. I was clowning them earlier. This is just a season of I'm not going to, like, what do I play? There's nothing to do. Because your Ascension board, trash, which is RNG anyway, so I wouldn't even bother. It's just kind of as it happens, right? Limited, garbage. I actually liked Limited, so I'm a little mad. Draft, garbage. I had a feeling that was going to be garbage because of clutch time coming in. You guys can't prioritize 2 modes that just came in this year, right? Trash. Draft, garbage. Draft was, like, Draft I somewhat enjoyed because people were quitting because you don't make MT out of it, right? I mean, you couldn't get XP done in it, which was garbage. But you were at least had 10 wins. All right, I know I'm going to make 20-something K MT off of this. I'm going to make a couple of tokens. I might get a diamond contract that boosts me up to like 30K, something like that, right? We at least knew we were getting decent rewards, even if the top board was trash and it was a garbage player. But, I mean, this garbage of a player? Like George Gervin, you're like, all right, the position, shooting guard, small forward's a little saturated right now, right? So maybe we don't need that card. But Andre Drummond? Nobody's playing Andre Drummond. Nobody. He's going to be like 70-something speed center. Okay, sure, he has 99 rebounding. Who cares? He can't shoot outside of 3 inches. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the athleticism. He's not going to have perimeter defense. I don't think you guys are realizing this. He's going to have like 60-something perimeter defense. Because he's available day 1. So they have to go off of right now centers. He's going to have 60-something perimeter defense. He's going to have like a 75 speed. Like, the card's going to be terrible. Like, again, Josh Smith would play over him. No hesitation. Because Josh Smith can shoot the ball and has better all-around defense. I can trust Josh Smith to switch a screen and not get cooked. So I just don't understand, like, why they're not paying attention to these things. Like, I don't understand. Another thing that's interesting is we're getting a pink diamond reward player. But yeah, so like just the domination stuff, I just don't understand. Why are we getting the fact that you're dropping it mid-season, first of all? So it's going to be something probably like a Christmas promo, right? It's going to be something along like Christmas promo, I'm assuming. Because they're dropping it mid-season. Why aren't we getting this content beginning of season? Because until this drops, I have nothing to do. Like, Unlimited's going to be sweaty for the first like week and a half. So no point really trying to grind that out. Eventually I'll probably have to just do like the no sweat squad and just hope my matchups work right. And then Limited, I'm literally just doing it for the ring and I'm done. Like, I just want to make sure I get my Hall of Fame badge and that's it, right? So I don't understand why that's a thing. The thing is, also that's interesting, is they're saying that you don't have to do the other dominations. So I was watching Shake's video earlier, and the interesting thing is we didn't have to, if you remember for Antoine Jameson, you didn't have to do previous dominations in order to do the Antoine Jameson, right? So it seems like they're following that same path. Okay? Again, I'm nervous the fact that we're not hearing about this card because it means it's probably mediocre. The same thing with the triple threat guys. The fact that we're not hearing anything now makes me extremely nervous because normally if 2K is excited about a card and excited about what we're getting, they give us the info on the card right away. Like, hey, here, look at the good job we're doing, right? But we're not getting that information, so I'm assuming it's not going to be great. We are getting festive basketballs, jerseys, and courts. So the ornament balls, it looks like they're back. Love to have those things sell for a wonderful 1 MT. So I wonder if maybe... Okay, so these are going to be in packs. All right. These are going to be trolls because you're going to see it amethyst and think you pulled something good. Not going to be worth it. So it looks like the holographic ball for collecting cards and stuff will be available. And you can catch... The fireball will now be available. Whatever. If you all want to do that, do that. The debut of city jerseys and courts will be available, which will be interesting. For the new jerseys, you'll need to get a win in Triple Threat Online using 3 players from that franchise. So for you guys that collect cards, dope. For you guys that don't collect cards, it's going to suck, right? For the courts, it looks like you have to match whoever has the record for points in a game. So for the Warriors, you're going to have Wilt's 100. I'm assuming for like the Lakers and stuff, you'll need Kobe's 81. Things like that. The big thing I want to know, because I'm sick and tired of waiting on them, is when can I get my Throwback Warriors jerseys? Because I've been waiting to see if I can get the new, like the We Believe Warriors jerseys. They're in the rewards section. It's just that they're not available. Nobody knows where to get them. I was asking guys that have almost every card collected in the game. They're like, I have no idea where to get them. So I'm assuming that'll probably be part of the domination we get later, which I think is stupid, but it's whatever. It looks like the signature challenge is going to be Dame, obviously, because, which is weird. I thought it'd be AI because I thought it was normally the level 40 guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was level 40 guy. So with that, you'll get AI, Kobe, LeBron, Giannis, KD will be playing center. So I have a feeling what will probably happen closer to Christmas is we'll start to get out of position packs because they're now starting to advertise in the challenge. I mean, granted, challenge games, they have all kinds of, they'll have like centers playing point guard, doesn't matter. But the fact that they're advertising this leads me to believe out of position packs are this season. So your small point guards that are everybody's grinding for aren't going to be usable very long. So obviously with this, you'll get him. I'm hoping we still get our shoe and the badge. Hopefully it's not just him, because if it is, I'm going to be pissed. But yeah, that'll be interesting. So obviously we'll get the new Dom, more 75th NBA players. That's a lie. This is honestly the worst season to jump into my team as of right now because the rewards are garbage. There's no point in grinding anything, right? But that is going to be all of the my team stuff. I will just kind of briefly go over the park stuff for you guys that care about park. But like I said, this is the season of mediocre for us, my team guys. But yeah, so let's see here. We've got, looks like they are adding in the Christmas decorations and stuff for the neighborhood and stuff like that, and the city and stuff, so there'll be a lot of random stuff. Hopefully we don't have the witch going back and forth that causes everybody to lag. Looks like there might be something going overhead because of this line right here. I think that's just the zip line though, so I don't think there'll be any problems with that. Courts look decent. I wish there was maybe like some actual snowbanks and stuff. But all in all, I think it looks actually really good. We'll have winter events, it looks like. So we'll have, in the city, you'll have an actual tree and stuff like that. On Christmas Day, you can go over and claim presents if you're on Next Gen. So I guess they'll just be handing gifts to the current gen guys because obviously you guys won't have that Christmas tree. And then let's see here. So the cruise ship will have a 12 days of Christmas leading up to the Dunk of Hall. So Dunk, whatever, I can't remember what they used to call it. Tree of Giving located near the auditorium and receive a gift per day. Probably like double XP tokens and things like that. We'll encourage you to giving experiment when you participate in community games. So a player with a higher level teams up with player of lesser levels. Anywhere on the ship, the entire team will earn double XP. So that's interesting. So for you guys that grind right away, if you have a friend that maybe doesn't hop on the game as often, I don't know, like maybe if it's the bigger the gap, the closer you get to double XP. I'm not entirely sure what that math will be because I don't know if they'll do it where you have a guy that's literally just one level ahead of you and you make sure they stay one level ahead so that you guys get double XP. Maybe something like that might end up working out. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Level 40 is not that hard to get. So this is more about the cruise ship. Northern Lights with the North Pole off in the distance for 30 minutes. Look up into blah, 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 blah. That's cool. Whatever. Previous students will be able to... So it looks like this might be like an event place to where you'll get like off the cruise ship for things like that. This is interesting and kind of stupid. So we're getting, it looks like, I guess, rooftops. I guess this is for next gen because we don't have a cruise ship, so they're trying to give us something a little different, right? This is just going to be offline, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. Street Ballers, join your team. So this is strictly like for you guys that solo queue, basically is what this is. You can't bring teammates with you. There's no... It's not like the what are those? The gyms or whatever where you go in and you can't squad, but you get to play with other people. No, this is strictly you versus a bunch of bots. Which I think is kind of stupid, but I mean, hey, you get a championship belt for winning the whole thing. Whoop-de-doo. If anything, I would have liked to have seen it give us some extra badge points or something like that, but it is what it is. Another big thing for you park guys is the 2x XP coins. They do not transfer at all. I'm hoping the glitch where you just activate them right before season ends and then you can use them right into next season works. They didn't say that got moved, but they did say double XP coins will now remain tied to the season they're required in. So still hoping that, you know, the method of where you're like, okay, at like, let's say 10:30 Eastern or like 10:50 Eastern, you pop all of your XP coins you have and you have like 16 hours of double XP, and then you go into the next season and use it. I don't know if they mean it's going to be a hard reset or exactly how that works. I do kind of like this suit right here. Can't lie. I feel like it looks pretty clean. But let's see here. So we got Iced Out Bundle, level 40, reserved for the most frosted from head to toe. Okay, so this is the level 40 reward right here. It looks like a race suit that's an iced out suit. That's actually pretty cool. Let's see here. Any Blizzard, there are a couple of special themed rewards waiting for you. Jump shot animation, iced out jewelry pack, holiday mask. So next gen gets a glider at level 30, I guess, and you guys get for current gen, you guys are gonna get a bike, just because obviously you're not in a city, so it doesn't make sense for you guys to get a glider. So limitless outfit combinations. Next gen collectible, rack up 100 wins at the wreck, and the helmet is yours. Win 100 3v3. Oh, okay. So this is a different award than level 40. Level 40 is a legitimate like suit like we had at level 37 this season, right? That's my bad. So for the racing suit, this thing that they're talking about, you have to have 100 wins in the wreck for the helmet, and then 100 wins in 3v3 for the actual suit itself. So again, you guys that play the game a lot, good for you. I think it'll be dope. But I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of games to play. I just don't know if I even play that much, let alone win 100 games in the wreck. That's a lot of games there, right? And then we already talked about the My Team stuff. No offense to the W, but I don't play the W, so I don't really have any comments on it. Def Jam recording. So it looks like they're adding some new stuff here. I, again, have everything shut off, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, that is all of the Season 3 stuff we have for now. I don't know if my team will maybe get a separate blog as far as like the domination stuff, or if we'll just find out in season. But that is going to conclude at least my part of it. Let me know your guys' thoughts, comments, everything down below. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.